Yes. Yes. Hello. Now, Tori, first of all, what's up, colleagues? Welcome to Friends from Work. I'm Al Jackson, Tori Showman in the building.
Hi, guys.
You're waving like they just showed you on America's Funniest Home Videos in 1992.
Totally.
Remember,
Bob
they're like,
Saget, shout out.
yes. Man.
Totally.
The forerunner to YouTube. That was, hey, if you want to see a dad slip off of a ladder and fall into a snowman, there you go.
And you had to send your VHSs in. Remember that?
Yes. Did I tell you that when I wrote on the Shaq show, Vin DeBona, which was the production company that made that?
I know Vin DeBona. Yep.
Yeah, his office was in the same place that we wrote the Shaq show, and I would see him he had to have been in his early 80s. I would get there at 7:30. He'd already just be working at his desk.
I auditioned for him.
Take a day off.
I auditioned for him and he was so sweet, and I got the job because of him. And my audition was to do an air guitar from the Eagles song Hotel California from Hell Freezes Over. I did the and I got the job. It was great.
Wait, what job would that be?
Are you ready? It was for a game show and they wanted a bee. And so we went to Vegas and I played a bee and they hung me from a crane.
Oh, I thought you meant like a bitch, like you were supposed to be like a mean woman. I didn't know.
I was dressed like a bee and they flew me in. And when it was my time, I went, it's time to buzz you in to the next contestant.
Boo. Ugh. It is. It's like, colleagues, I'll tell you this, like, when you're around the age that we all are and you make it out to Hollywood and you're like, I have made it.
Yeah.
I am going to read these scripts. I'm going to be in the same place where like somebody pitched Good Will Hunting.
Totally.
And, so some of the greatest shows are made. And then you go in and they're like, okay, you're going to be a bee that is anti-LGBTQ rights. There's a cockroach. And you're like, who got paid for this horse shit?
I know. And they hung me from a crane and I was just dangling and I was like, it was terrible. It didn't get picked up. So anyway.
Yes, but there is I would love if my coffers were full and I could just make a documentary of just like a random project I would want to do. It would be people from our generation and maybe one generation behind us that did dangerous stuff at work that now would never fly.
Totally.
But like back in the day, I told you when I did that Guinness Book of World Record show, my co-host, the record was how many rose stems could this guy crack with a bullwhip from across the room? And they made my co-host put it in his mouth. So a bullwhip was like coming this close to his face. Like it would have, I can't believe that was allowed to happen. It would have maimed him. And he was like, after the shoot, like he was really shaken up, Tori, as he should have been. Jeff famously tore his bicep on a bull on a shoot. So have you ever been hurt doing anything?
No. I did get shot in the boob for CSI Miami and I had to go in a water tank for that. And that was really exciting because you know why? They gave me a bathrobe after, like I was you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was really exciting.
Well, just when you said bathrobe, you made me think about one more weird Hollywood story. When we shot one of the episodes, I'm on the show Legit season 2, check it out. And it was on FX. And so we actually shot at a house in LA. It was where the intervention was happening. And, so we have craft. It's not a set, it's a neighborhood in LA. And so there's craft services out. And eventually, like I come back and I see some security guards moving around. I'm like, oh, what's happening back here? For like 3 days, there was just a guy coming out of his apartment in a bathrobe and coming down and just getting food out of craft services and going back to his apartment.
I would do that.
And eventually they were just like, sir, you can't. And the last time I saw him, he went in, but he had like armfuls of food.
Smart.
He's like, look, you're in my hood. I get to take what I like. Honey,
1,000%. 1,000%. It's good to see everyone. Do I still have the bathrobe? No, they actually took the bathrobe back, but someone was standing there with the bathrobe. So that was the part that made me feel good, but I didn't actually get to keep the bathrobe. And I did make another, I made a sound. I went, oh, And they were like, please don't say anything.
I think on the low, Tori, that's why men don't want to get massages from other men.
Because
It's
of the
not that we
boundaries.
have an issue with homosexuality. It's like I don't want a guy to like really relax one of my deltoid muscles, and I just go, oh, Sven. It's just like I can't. I don't
You,
know. I don't want to. I don't like massages anyway. I will
you
ask this, Tori, really quickly. Have you ever bought a bathrobe from a hotel? Because they always threaten you. They're like, if you like our robes, you can have it
no,
for
no,
two.
no. Uh-uh.
Never
No. I've been gifted hotel bathrobes, so I have 2 really good ones, but I've never bought one.
from the
Have
men
you?
staying there.
No. One froze for Bert, our EP. Remember that good
Yes, I
bathrobe?
still have mine.
Love my bathrobe. Yeah. Michael Dean says he's bought nice bathrobes, but I never wear them. You should wear them.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, Tori, we got a lot to get to today. I actually, before we even get to, our spider moving spot, I'm going to the Dodgers game tonight with Vlad. Yeah, me, Vlad, and his wife and my girl are going to go check out the Dodgers. So,
That's
and we went
awesome.
to a baseball game. You're not even going to mention it.
We went to the Rockies with Sar and Al, and by the way, they won. And it was such a good game. There was a grand slam. There was right, wasn't there?
I don't think so.
Oh, I thought the bases were loaded when
There
Doyle
were,
hit.
but that was a double. That was not a grand slam, but it makes the
Okay,
story
but it was
better.
very exciting, and we really had a
And
really
then
good time.
Ken Griffey Jr. came out of retirement.
No, we didn't.
That's yeah. No, it was super fun and like
It was
Tori,
so
you're a
good.
bigger baseball fan than I knew.
Love it. And we sat at the first row behind the dugout. It was great. There was a couple that Al and I saw that kept staring at us. And to be honest, I think they recognized us or they hated us because they just kept staring. So I stared back. So that was my thing at the Rockies. But I had a great time. It was so much fun and I loved it.
See, I always check out of my narcissistic mind when I think somebody's staring at me because my whole thing is like no one's ever thinking about you. That's just my overall premise with everybody. And like everybody's like my haters trying to hate. It's like nobody's thinking about you. But
Right.
I peeped this woman like 4 times. And then one time she was like looking, did one of these.
She
Like,
just straight up
Yeah,
stared.
to the point where I'm like, of all these people, why do I keep feeling like this random woman? There was a guy in between us. So like I had to have like noted every time he would move, I would just see this woman like I'm
I
like,
think she
all right.
recognized us. I am an ego. I like my ego. So I'm saying she recognized us.
All right. Well, you know what else I recognize, Tori? It's this. Oh, it's a beautiful day with Spider Moving. Shout out to Spider Moving. Dare I say our first sponsor. We love you, Spider Moving. And Tori, we made this whole segment around Spider Moving in terms of like people you think in the world need to keep it moving or get up out of here. So, Tori, what do you think we need to do? Who needs to keep it moving today?
I think the under eye wrinkles need to keep it moving. I don't understand that as I age, I get more wrinkles and then it's harder for me to cover with concealer and biologically why? Why is it aging? Why are my eyes like that? Why? So
Because your
anyway,
skin loses hydration as you
I
age.
know, but why?
I'm answering you right now.
But
It's
like
the aging
no, but like
process.
biologically why? Why does that help me as I get older in terms of like you know, it's not helpful in any way. It makes it it's terrible.
I don't. Well, you have less cells dividing. That please don't do that. You look like a crazy woman looking through her what do you call those door peeps? What's that word? Tori,
Oh,
stop,
people,
please.
the people.
Yes. Do you ever just go and you just go for the word and it's just not there?
Yeah.
And you're like,
That's also when
you're
you get
looking out
older.
the tiny hole.
I know. Gigi says, as our bodies age as we get older, but our spirits say the same. I know, but it's like, I don't know. I'm on TV and it's getting harder and harder to, put the plaster back on.
Do you worry about aging?
Oh my God. I really feel like I aged a lot this year. And so,
Me
and I agree with
too. The
you. I
colleagues have been
really
like
feel like
emailing me like Tori. Some just say it's just subject line RE ... Tori, and then the body of it just says ugh, and then they just send it, which I think is rude.
Oh God. And yeah, also the waddle under the chin, as Lucy says, like what biologically is that helping? Why is that there?
I don't know. I just think, you know, gravity is an MFer,
I just
you
hate it.
know?
Oh,
And
I
when
just
you're
hate
young,
it.
you can fight it.
Oh,
And
it's
as you
so
get older, you're
annoying.
just, but your body's like, I'm not, it can have it.
What are you
Tori, I'm
moving
going to
on?
tell you, yes, what I am moving on from. First of all, shout out to Spider Moving. If you're moving, going anywhere, they do storage, hit them up 303-544-4000. Who I'm going to tell to keep it moving. And this is almost literal, Tori. I actually wrote this down when we were at the baseball game. You see this a lot in Times Square, any places where there are large amounts of people all moving in one direction. You know, some people moving, you know, whatever. Somebody will just stop moving.
Oh
Like
yeah.
they'll just stop and they'll be
Yeah.
like, "Can you get the hot dogs there, or should we go get brats?" And I'm like, "I know you can't see them, but ma'am, there's literally 919 people walking behind you.
Like keep it moving,
You
guys.
have to keep moving, especially like on a sidewalk in New York. If you're going to take a picture, you need to step away because there are thousands of people behind you.
Yeah.
You cannot just stop. That's crazy town.
I agree. I totally agree. People are not paying attention, and I get it. I'm really paying attention. I'm overly paying attention.
You're overly paying attention to your wrinkles that are not there. You look great.
Thanks, guys.
Are you? I really feel. Do you think if we take this a little bit more seriously, because you are a woman in the industry, you are more sensitive?
Oh, 1,000%. And like on TV, when I'm not lit well, I look like I'm a creature from down under.
Oh, stop it.
By the way, Julie, I agree with you. This happens at the grocery store, Al, when I'm in an aisle and someone just stops and I'm like, yo, it's an aisle. And after COVID, I get really weird about crowds in grocery stores. And I'm like, get out of my way. It's not right. It's not right.
And at the grocery store, there's one other thing that you're not even mentioning, Tori. I assume if you're in the aisle that you want to get something from that aisle. I support that, homie. Take your cart, and it's got to go with you.
I know.
You
Go.
can't just block off the aisle like Dukes of Hazzard while you get your garbanzo beans, and then kind of have an attitude like they grab the cart back, like as you were. It's like, I'm shop. What? You're being crazy, sir.
Like, keep it moving, dudes.
Yes,
Like,
literally. Keep it
I
moving.
agree with you.
Let's keep it moving to our main story. Tori, we kind of saw this story coming some weeks ago. Talk to me about what's going on in your hometown.
So we talked that the guards are coming in. The National Guard is coming into DC for this crazy amount of crime. I don't know if you guys have seen, but people getting out at Union Station, they're just surrounded by like men in camo, tanks. It's so crazy. So this is what Trump said about why he expanded the law enforcement presence in DC. Are you guys ready for this? Is everyone ready? I think we're ready. Are you ready, Al?
I'm ready.
Okay. Trump said, hi, Sarah. Good to see you. Trump said this. He said he's increasing it because DC, my hometown, are you right? Hometown is, quote, overtaken by violent gangs and bloodthirsty criminals, roving mobs of wild youth, drugged out maniacs, and homeless people. Just so you know, the city, my hometown, crime data shows that violent crime in the city has actually dropped 26% compared to last year.
I want it down 27%, or we send in the troops.
I know. So the new update
is unacceptable. Yeah.
Right. So the new update is some of these troops you now see, we were told they will not be armed, are now being considered armed. So I've always said this.
Tori, I'm going to stop you for a second because I think on behalf of the colleagues, you know, I know Michael Dean has the chyron up there because that's how it's written. The National Guard may be armed, in quotes. Is that something we could get some kind of like, I would like to be black or white on that one. I don't know. You know, hey, Tori, can you go grab my jacket out of my bedroom? There may be tripwire in there.
Right.
May cause an explosion, you know, but I don't think so. So maybe. What do you mean may be armed? What are you talking? What do you take from that?
I take it as a vague sense of terror, which a lot of authoritarian people, dictatorship, they like to make you feel that there's always a chance that you could be taken off the street, like the ICE, right? Or you could be arrested with arms, or someone could be back there with a gun. So it's a vague sense. It's like an essence, an innuendo, like a perfume of just fear and terror, instead of like what I believe a president should do, which is like peace, calm, collected strength. Like it doesn't need to be we're all on high alert with armed guards. Maybe, maybe not. We don't know. And I always say this, more bullets equals more deaths. So remember Uvalde, you always say we need more men with guns. That didn't help. So whenever you have more guns with more bullets in the streets, you're going to get more deaths. And so I just cannot believe what a distraction this is. As
Tori,
Gavin Newsom said, he his social media has gone crazy because he's just doing and trolling Trump. It's so good, you guys. So they kept saying, is this a distraction, a distraction? And he said, we're going to rename California. Trump is in the Epstein files of Fornia.
that's
Isn't
hilarious.
that funny? So again, this is all this distraction. The crime isn't there. The mayor isn't calling for it. And look out for more cities, Baltimore, Chicago, with Black mayors in particular. He's putting in troops for Black mayors. I want us to be clear about that. It is such a racially tinged way of doing it. And I don't want to forget that fact. So I just want to let you guys know this is a distraction. Keep bringing up the Epstein issue. And I feel bad for my city because we look like we're in South Korea or North Korea. I mean, it looks terrifying.
Yeah, it's disappointing, but sadly predictable. I do think this is part of the yes, the Epstein distraction, but I think that this may be serving two different interests. Tori, this administration is wildly unpopular. The midterms are coming. They can't redistrict like they used to, and they know that they're probably going to get blue tsunamied in less than a year and a half. I think that has caused them to want to push through a lot of their most unpopular agenda points. But also, I think that they know that some of them may be subject to some criminal, maybe not President Trump, but some of them may be subject to criminal prosecution under the stuff that will be discovered that they have done after they've left. You know, it's like an employee when you go, oh my God, they stole like $50,000 over the course of 7 years. So when they leave, it's obvious they start running the numbers. So I don't think that they're going to let a midterm happen. I think this is seeding the ground for that. We're a year out. We're already used to seeing Navy SEALs on the ground in downtown LA, where I used to go to concerts. We're going to be used to seeing Humvees in the streets of DC, where your dad quietly goes about his day. And all you're going to see, because not only are these service members in the streets, they're not just standing there saluting. I've seen videos. People are taking pictures and they'll tackle the guy. They're working with ICE, and it's just a matter of time before you mix summertime heat, racism from ICE, anger, and whatever is coming out of our administration that's being poured into our military, that's then being poured onto our streets, and frustrated citizens. Before somebody says something, a shot is fired, and now we have a hot war on our streets.
That's
right.
Now,
guess what we can't have, Tori? We can't have an election. People are shooting at our troops. That is the thing, because when Trump was getting his ass kicked, he was down by 10 points to Kamala, and then we had the assassination attempt that we've never heard anything about since. We never met this guy's parents. I don't even know his name. We don't know anything about that guy. All we know is he's dead, and that was that, which is interesting. And that flipped the election because it deified Trump. He jumped up by 12 points in some popularity polls, and he beat Kamala. He's wildly unpopular now, and he needs... Tori, how long can this happen?
That is so, look how sad that is. That used to be, I used to go there and just walk and be peaceful with my friends and enjoy the Washington Monument and fly kites there. I mean, it's such a beautiful city, and it's just militarized and militarized. And the more, I always say this, the more we push the goalposts, it's now that there's troops. Oh, I'm sorry. Now they're armed. Oh, I'm sorry. Right. Like Alice saying, now they're engaging. Oh, I'm sorry. Now they're taking over. I mean, that's really how the dictators start. They just normalize, 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 normalize. So just keep your eyes open, guys. This is a
and Tori,
sick
remember, I'm
way.
so glad you brought up the Dictator's Handbook. I'll say this and we will move on, but you were so spot on with what you were saying, because also with dictators, colleagues, dictators always need a vague enemy. We saw this. You're welcome, Lucy. We're all seeing it, sis. What is this, Lucy? What are we looking at? And with these
Again,
dictators, I'm sorry. I just want to say there's
no,
always a threat. Remember before it was migrant hordes coming to take our jobs and rape your women. And now it's roving gangs of thugs. I just did the DC Improv with Frank Caliendo, I don't know, 3 months ago. DC's gorgeous.
it's stunning.
Nothing
It's a
happening.
beautiful city. I know. And
nothing happening. But
I
Tori,
know.
you and I are in the world. If you're a person that takes in the world through Fox News and YouTube videos of fist fights in Detroit, what do they call that? Plato's cave? You look at the shadows and you determine what the outside world looks given your terrible vantage point. I'm so smart. It's unnerving. But there's a lot of people that are just like, it's falling apart, and it's like, it's not.
Right. And remember, I just want to say, Marcy said, or Megan Alexander, it's the rise of Hitler. I don't bring up Hitler to be like Trump is Hitler, but the Machiavellian playbook is the same, right? Nazism didn't just take over Germany. They slowly were like, this is good for your youth. This is good because there's an inferior race. This is good for germs and coming into your, like, it builds, and then the country's like, okay. And then it builds more. And they're like, oh, I guess so. And then they build into gas chambers. And that was okay. I mean, it's like, you've got to think that he's following a playbook that is bought and sold from the Machiavellian times. We should know it by now. So at least we're talking about it.
It's pretty common knowledge. You're exactly right, Tori. What you do with a dictator is you got to remember where Germany was after the First or Second World Wars. Germany had just gotten their ass handed to them twice.
Decimated.
Okay, so their economy's in the shitter. They got a bunch of young white men sitting around unemployed, underemployed, broke. So what do? Do you go say, hey, we just try to do some real foul shit? We're going to have to dig our way out of this. Hitler comes along and goes, nope, you guys are perfect. You know who it is? You see Tori Shulman and her mom looking at the artwork. That's why you're out of and people would rather go after that. Agreed. Go after literally somebody that's immigrated to this country selling ice cream on the corner. They'd rather tackle him in front of his daughter than address their stuff.
Agreed.
So it's the same mentality. It's the same mentality, and we're just looking at it with different characters. Tori, let's talk about my favorite subject. Why isn't this segment just about me and what I've done that day? Such a dummy.
Oh, yeah.
How are you?
Okay. Are we doing the story?
Yeah, I'll do it. I didn't know you were just going to sit there.
Well, you usually do
quietly.
The stories.
I know it was my fault, but I have to blame you.
Always.
I'm like, why aren't I talking, Tori? Yeah. All right. So Tori, Tom Cruise, who's famously been apolitical. This is the part of the course. Turns down Trump's invite to the Kennedy Center. So good idea, bad idea. Answer that, and also answer, do you think celebs should get involved in politics in any way?
Well, we have a celebrity as a president, so they already are. Tom Cruise did a really smart thing because he wants to not alienate anyone at any time. And he's been very good at keeping things Tom Cruise. You know what I mean? Like he's so Tom Cruise, he doesn't venture from Tom Cruise. So, I think it's a great idea that and I don't know if he snubbed him or whatever, but like, Trump's mad because he wanted Maverick there. You know what I mean? He wanted the Top Gun. He wanted that guy there. And he's not going to do that. So look, I don't love Tom Cruise as a human being. I've read a lot of reports about his girlfriends are picked for him. They're auditioned for him.
A lot of people get matchmakers.
Yeah, but he has, if you read a Vanity Fair article about how Cruise gets picked his girl, like Sofia Vergara was up and she auditioned to be his girlfriend, and it's like very strange. There's a lot of stuff in the Church of Scientology I don't want to get into because they're very litigious, but I love Tom Cruise as my movie star. I will see any movie with Tom. He is fun. He brought Hollywood back.
The star of our
after
time.
COVID. I love him. So I love that he just backed out. I don't have to get mad at Cruz. I'm very happy he did this, because I think the Kennedy Center honors this year will be seen as a particularly different, an aberration of all the other Kennedy Center honors. So way to step back and just take the knee. You know what I mean?
Right. Which is ironic, because we're going to be talking about Colin Kaepernick.
I thought the same thing. By the way,
later in the show.
Julia says she's never seen a Tom Cruise movie.
Julia, what is going on, sis? Look, you got, even if it's Magnolia, come on.
Or like The Outsiders, was he in that? Like, he's a brilliant movie star.
First of all, I just like that you tried to name one Tom Cruise movie and you
Mission Impossible? Ethan Hunt?
Okay, let's all the colleagues, here's what we need to do. We need to figure out as a team, what should Julia's first Tom Cruise movie be?
Good call.
Okay. So we will say this at the end of the show. I'll write this down. We'll do it instead of Tori's fact.
Oh, well. Okay.
Well, we'll do it as well as. But quite frankly, I'm more concerned with Julia.
Okay, everyone write down your favorite Tom Cruise
and Michael
movie.
Dean, periodically, can you just take a light count and we'll see.
Okay.
But remember, and somebody said Top Gun. I'm not shading, but I don't know if we want to throw Julia right into the Top Gun.
How about A Few Good Men? Did you order the Code Red? You're goddamn right I did. Ow. Jerry Maguire? That's a great movie.
There's so many. Yeah, he's got some bangers. He's got some bangers.
What's the pool one? Color of Money? Is that it? What's the
Color of Money with
Paul Newman. July?
It's
Firm. Great choice.
We're not even talking about the Mission Impossible series. And on the low, my favorite Tom Cruise, nerd, sci-fi Al, I liked War of the Worlds. I thought he was good.
I thought he was great. I thought he was great in that. He's always great. And also Risky Business. I like that old Tom off the shelf.
No, I don't think that was the next
I
word.
love my Tom Cruise on my shelf.
We're going to get a video. We're going to get like a message from YouTube being like, we were going to give you a channel strike, but luckily your co-host did not actually plagiarize due to
Oh, he's so cute in that. And Jerry Maguire. That was such a good movie.
Should we just make a whole Tom Cruise podcast?
He really is the guy and if I see a preview and he's in it, I'm like this.
Yeah, because he's not going to mail it in. You know what, Tori, we did this is kind of at the same time when all the whole remember when Spider-Woman came out or Supergirl and it was so bad they didn't release it?
Yeah.
And people were going back and forth. And I remember after that, a super famous white female actress, she was doing the Spider-Girl or Spider-Woman, I don't know what they were calling it, but it got panned right after that. And
I think it was no, I don't know.
Was it Batgirl?
Was it Madam Web? Are you talking about that one?
Madam Web, yes.
Oh, that's Dakota Johnson, I think.
Yes. And they asked her in an interview, they were asking her about whatever Marvel, Vanilla Sky. Gabriel, do not get us off track. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Talk about that movie.
Tori,
I listened to YouTube videos about what Vanilla Sky is about. And it's
amazing.
Okay. So anyway, Dakota Johnson, she was just she didn't know any answers about Madam Web's backstory.
Yeah, right.
And I don't think that she knows anything about that. But an artist like Tom Cruise, even though he doesn't give a shit about that, would have known everything about the backstory because he's a psychopath for work.
Totally agree.
I'm sure it's not good for relationships, but it works when you're Tom Brady on the football field.
Totally.
Probably not great as a husband. They're different things. All right.
Curly Girlness also has never watched a Tom Cruise movie. So we have two people who have never seen a Tom. This isn't unheard of, but we will talk about it in the end. I also do want to say Rain Man is great with Dustin Hoffman, but A Few Good Men with Jack Nicholson is some of the best. It's Aaron Sorkin, guys, from The West Wing. Some of the best, and it was a play. Some of the best dialogue you'll ever hear. It was so well done. Sorry.
All right. And okay, first of all, Gabriel's going off with a bunch of
Minority
Report, which we talked about yesterday.
I talked about last time.
Yeah, we talked about it last time. And also, somebody just did a deep dig, and they just said Edge of Tomorrow. Those are the real Tom Cruise fans. I watched that last week
with Emily Blunt. right?
Yes.
Great movie.
Yes. She's such a badass human being in
Her
that.
arm muscles.
Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Okay. Do you see what you guys are doing to us? You're getting
Sorry.
us all frothed up. All right, Tori, let's do this. And you know what? Let me go back to the comments because we might as well have this meeting out in the open. We need I mean, maybe we can use the email address, maybe my Nico and Jolie email address. I just want to be able to contact everybody. So, because Tori and I are thinking about doing a show that we talk about almost like a book club, but for a show, it looks like maybe we should do one for movies as well.
For sure. Movies for sure.
So, do you have an email address you want to use, or I can use mine?
No.
Oh, thank you. So I don't know what that answer was. You said no.
No, I don't have an email I can share with everybody. No.
Okay, well, okay, we'll do this next show. But we need to organize that because I want to get a direct feedback. Okay, Tori, let's do this right now. Let's talk about it. Trump and Putin meeting up, kicking
Putin
it.
on the Ritz.
Putin on the Ritz. Yeah. Tor. Obviously, they met in Alaska. A lot of people had a lot of issues with having a murderous dictator on U.S. soil. A lot of countries, he would have been arrested as soon as he walked off the plane, but not here. So, Tori, what were your thoughts about this?
I think what you said was really, really smart about how in like 50 years, 20 years, 10 years, this is going to be a photo op that will go down in history. And again, I always talk about Yalta when you had Winston Churchill, you had Franklin Delano Roosevelt, you had countries and people that came together. And I believe you had Stalin at some point. But anyway, you had these people that all came together to discuss, to see Trump and Putin and no other countries rolling out, as Al said, the red carpet is insulting to the greatest generation who fought the Russians. And here it is. This is the photo op. I think that'll go down. They're rolling
US soldiers out on their hands and knees. Do you colleagues not think they're not playing this on Russian state TV
on
a loop? Can you imagine the win that this is?
Yeah, it's huge. And Trump looked stupid. He looked weaker. He didn't speak first. Putin had a lot of preparatory work for this. Trump kind of was caught off guard with this and kind of just showed up.
Well, that's what happens when you're in the KGB. You're used to preparing.
Exactly. So it just showed we got played. We just got played. And may I say, if you're dealing with Russia or China, you're going to kind of get played. Like no one in the Department of Defense believes anything a Russian says, anything dealing with Russia. So why did our president, who is just brown nosing and ass kissing this guy, take it all in and believe it? It is the supreme height of anti-patriotism. I mean, remember in World War II, we didn't like Russians for a reason. Like, I don't know. It's just, You were right. It's a photo op that'll go down in history.
But a photo op, I was just expecting to see these two men standing next to each other because, you know, Tori, I always think about things, whether we're talking about celebrities or politicians, I like to get away from their world because I don't care. I always think about just human dynamics. And, you know, I've been your boy, you've been my girl since day one. Like, we bust balls, but like, you my homie. If I knew that you had beef with somebody at DBL, and that night I was at a function, we were all at a company function, it was a bar, I would make sure not to take a picture with them just because I wouldn't want you to see it on Instagram.
Totally agree.
I wouldn't even know that you would.
Right. But you're careful.
Because I care.
Totally.
I just thought a picture of them would be bad. A picture of U.S. soldiers on their knees rolling out a red carpet for a Russian dictator. Obama saluted a soldier while holding a Starbucks, and Fox News almost imploded.
Yeah. And if
he wore a tan suit.
I know.
Fox News
they went
imploded.
Crazy. I know. If you do see, and I would Google this, there's a picture of Obama walking past Putin, and he looks down at him like with such disgust. And that's the American point of view that we need to have from a president. I mean, that was exactly right. And I also want to say, Gigi said something, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. Reagan had the balls to go against the Russians. And then you have Ich bin ein Berliner. I am a Berliner. Tear down this to go against the Berlin Wall. You know, we don't have any kind of inspiration like that. We have this guy. By the way, he looks like trash.
Tori, he looks really bad.
Do I look like that?
No, that's the worst I've ever seen him look.
Me too.
I'm not even joking.
It's he looks terrible. Well, he wasn't ready for this. And Putin, look at the smirk. That's a man who was in the KGB. And I'll be honest with you, Germany's Chancellor, Angela Merkel. Do you guys all remember her? She was a famous rocket scientist that became an actual beautiful chancellor. And I loved her. She's famously afraid of dogs. And if you ever Google this, Putin would unleash a cane corso, a black one with clipped ears, no leash, and just have it roam around Angela Merkel's feet. There's pictures of it. That's the kind of man that he is.
A real life bad guy.
Yeah, he's a Bond villain. Exactly.
Right. And I mean, just to put a cork on this, that face and how he looked, Tori, people are not talking about how weird this was. This was supposed to be a whole thing.
Yeah, it didn't get anything done.
Well, Putin gets off the plane after our soldiers get off their effing knees. Take that in, buddy. They get into a car together like this is effing Miami Vice. They had some chit chat. And then after a brief meeting, lunch is canceled. Putin is out. And Trump has that face like when you've been cheating and your spouse is like, hey, can I see your phone to call your mom? And you're like, yeah, it's fine. Don't look under Domino's Pizza. Why am I texting Domino's Pizza at 3:30 in the morning? I'm hungry.
Oh my God. Good Lord.
Something happened. And we are going to find out because there's nothing that clearly won't leak. But the fact that lunch was canceled, the fact that Putin spoke first on foreign soil, on our soil, that'd be like me going to your house for Thanksgiving and sitting in your dad's seat for Thanksgiving at the head of the table. Imagine. Anyway, Tori, we are living in different times, my darling dear. Let's just be real about that. All right, let's go back to some famous people. All right, Tori, we're talking about Catherine Zeta-Jones. She's out here. She's one of us. One of us. One of us. She got 4 cribs.
Yeah, and she said that is not excessive.
Thoughts?
It is excessive.
Interesting. What do you say?
I mean, like I don't know. As a celebrity these days, you have to be, in my mind, kind of relatable. And this is like super unrelatable and a little bit like you're in your own celebrity world. Now, some people want their celebrities to be celebrities and want them to be like crazy, but it was a little excessive to me. Tell me about Michael Dean's asking, how many houses do you have to own for them to be excessive? 2?
I don't know.
2 is okay. 2's okay, maybe.
Julia, look, it's excessive to us. We are the people. But if you are a person of means, and yes, she's a celebrity, but she's kind of a celebrity from the old school, you know? So you're going to have at least, you know, a nice place in Manhattan. You're going to have a place in Santa Barbara that we're going to go open the house for the summer. Like that's
the staff.
Yes, you got staff. If you're a super white old school celebrity, you're going to have a place in New England, Vermont, somewhere like that, or horse stables, and then someplace in Europe. So that's 4.
But that's understandable, but don't say that that's not excessive, because that is. Christina S says, and here I am channeling Oliver Twist. Please, sir, may I have one house?
Yeah, well, here's my issue. And colleagues, you tell me if you think my thinking is faulty on this. For years on DBL, and every time we talk about any kind of issues where people speak up, what do you hear from people? Speak your truth, sis. Say that shit. Speak your truth. But when somebody does, she's like, I'm killing it, dog. 4 is not that much. I probably got 2 more I didn't tell you about, you poor person.
but 4 is a lot. Like that, someone said it's like Gwyneth Paltrow, which is kind of my issue. Like she just doesn't have any concept of what normal people are going through. it is so hard to get a house right now for anybody. It just feels like, what are you doing? But at the same time, I sort of want my celebrities like her, and she's married, I believe, still to Michael Douglas, to maybe be out of my reach. Like maybe that's okay, but it just felt like very like Gwyneth.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but it's just like I kind of like the honesty.
Yeah, I do. I understand what you mean.
You know, I'm just a sucker for honesty at the end of the day. And I mean, everything is relative. There are things that are normal. Like for me, in a normal year, I'll be on the road 24 to 31 weeks doing stand
Right.
up. So almost more than half the year. That's a very chill year for me. And some people be like, I take one trip a year. And
Yeah.
they're like, Al, stop trying to flex with you. I'm like, for me, that's very normal and boring. So
Right.
what's normal to me is not going to be normal. And just like other people, have you ever talked to somebody that's got like a crazy job, like a bouncer, and they're like, yeah, I got a fight last night with this guy. He tried to hit me with a box cutter. And you're like, what? And he's like, yeah, he comes in every Wednesday. To them,
But
that's
see, like,
normal.
right, and I get it, but when you're a celebrity and you're on a talk show and you say 4 houses isn't excessive, you don't have the finger on the pulse of anything. So just live with the houses, enjoy the houses, don't make us feel crappy about the houses, okay?
Now that I agree with. All
Thank you.
right. Well, all right. Do we want to just keep talking about this? I think we're just going to keep talking about Tour. Spike Lee putting the old kibosh on the Colin Kaepernick documentary.
Yeah,
Talk
man, they
to me.
took
What
a
were your
knee.
thoughts when you heard this?
I mean, it just felt like this guy can't get anything. I'm like, everyone bails on him. I don't
Mm.
know why did Spike Lee stop? Do you know why?
I would assume it had something to do with funding. Being
Spike Lee
pulled.
can't fund it?
Everybody got a
Dude.
boss tour. There's somebody that cut Spike Lee's checks. Spike Lee can't make a movie without
I'd be interested in seeing about Kaepernick. There
I
was
know you would. I
collusion in the
would too.
right? In the NFL, there was collusion keeping him there. Why did he start this? What was it about? What were his feelings? Like, what an interesting sports character and like person. And then
Yeah.
yeah,
So
Megan's
then
right.
where's the documentary?
Yeah, he can't catch a break. I agree. I'm like, why can't this guy just like he took a knee against police violence and everyone's like, don't ever touch him again. Like, I don't get it.
Let me ask the colleagues this, and Tori, I'll ask you this because it goes hand in hand. You said that you think the Colin Kaepernick story would make an interesting documentary. I agree. Tori, let me ask you an easier question. Do you think the Jeffrey Epstein story would make an interesting documentary?
Yeah.
Where is it?
What do you
Where is
mean?
it?
Well, I think there's too many
You don't
there's
think
too
that
many
there's
people
any
high up that would kill that.
right? So then why aren't we hearing about Colin Kaepernick?
You think it's the same
It,
reason? Who's against him so much? Lee and ESPN released a joint statement citing certain creative differences as the reason for cutting bait.
what creative differences? It's a story. It's not like he's going to reboot Thor. Like this is something that happened. This guy's still
Right.
alive.
Right. That's weird. Maybe the NFL kiboshed it.
I think they absolutely did. Because look, Colbert is off the air, even though he's number one in the ratings. We are off the air after number one ratings. A lot of the black faces on MSNBC off the air after pulling good ratings, especially for that channel. There is something bigger going on here. Because if you look at the nonsense documentaries that are on our TV now, there's a poop cruise one.
I was going to say poop cruise.
There's poop cruise. There's one about a big party in Canada that some girl arranged over Facebook. But they won't. I'm not trying to get too deep, Tori, but that's one of the things with fascism. They keep you entertained, but they never talk about the real issues. I personally find it interesting that a player at the top of his profession was not allowed to earn a living because he exercised one of his First Amendment rights. He has been able physically to play for years, but no one picked him up. As a Cleveland Browns fan, our team is horrible. We could have used him, but instead the Browns chose to lose, and other teams chose to lose. Why? There is a bigger thing going on than I don't know about it, but what did Judge Judy say? If something doesn't make sense, it's not true. everybody's clamoring for Epstein. Where are the articles? Where are the investigative reporters? We're not hearing anything. And it wasn't just Colin Kaepernick. There's other players that just like were kicked out of the league. Why? I would like some answers, but you know.
Yeah, I agree with Michael Dean, who says, I feel like creative differences is just industry speak for we don't want to be honest. It's like when an artist says, I have nervous exhaustion. Yeah, you had some,
Yeah.
come
Wait,
on.
what's the marriage equivalent for that one? Irreconcilable differences.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm very interested to see how this plays out. But Tori, I think we need one of these, boo. Tori, I need you to talk to us about Gen Z.
Okay, very, very interesting. Are you guys ready? Gen Z is much more in tuned to talking finances on like their first or second dates, even on any dates. They bring up money way more than the other generations. Now, I've heard from my generation, don't bring up money, don't talk about money, don't talk about money. And I always did
money, politics, and religion. You couldn't do it.
Exactly. And I was like, I always talked about money, and I know I made people uncomfortable, but like I didn't have a problem with that.
How
But
would you talk about money?
I don't know. I'd share salary information. I think that's important to learn what people are making, what your colleagues are making, so that if you feel like you're underpaid, that you can understand where the ratio is. Because I just think it's important. And I think bringing that up, especially with women in the workforce, to let them know, oh, I'm making this. Well, as a male counterpart, he's making this, and it's important to be honest about it. But the New York Post says half of both Gen Z and millennials find it attractive when a casual date is open about how much money they make, compared to just 37% of Gen X and 23% of baby boomers. So someone, please write in the comments, would you be comfortable on a first, second, third date to bringing that up? And I got to be honest, with the way that we've treated Gen Z, with they can't get housing, they have terrible inflation, they aren't getting paid, all this stuff, I feel like they should be talking about money.
Well, I mean, I think all those things you just listed, you answered the question. It's because when you go, well, in my grandparents' day, they didn't talk about money. And when my mom and dad went on a date, there was no splitting the bill. The man took control. Different economy then, buddy.
Totally.
The idea of a single income economy wouldn't make you fall out of your chair rolling on the floor laughing.
I know.
So yes,
right.
That was a better time when everybody had defined roles. That's where all this trad wife stuff, it all kind of starts to fall apart when they're like, ladies, you stay home and keep quiet. And the dude's like, yeah, girl, keep quiet. Can I have $50 real quick? And you're like, nah, dog. If you want to be the man, I don't want to. And that's the thing. You cannot have these traditional relationships in a non-traditional economy.
Totally.
And that's where we are right now.
That's a great point. Now, what date, first of all, I want to say what Megan said. Meanwhile, in the workforce, women often share salaries to know where we stand. That's exactly why I brought mine up, because I want us to know, A, who's making more between us women, but also if we're making 20% less than the males, like we all need to know that. And I think that's important. What date would you be comfortable talking about money if you were dating?
That's weird for me. I've never been a number person, like somebody would go like, I wouldn't sleep with somebody until it was the fifth date. I mean, that's a rule, you can have it, but like, what if the first 4 dates were 10 minutes? Like, it just seems like such an arbitrary number. I just think when things are right, they're right. And I think there's a moment where, like, right after you go, maybe not like Tori would be my girlfriend, but like, I would just be like, Tori, I'm not going to BS. I would be very upset if you were seeing somebody else. So like, do you want to kind of do this? And then if you were like, yeah, I've been waiting for you to say, I'd be like, okay, well, here's my living situation. I bounce to LA twice a month to see my kids. They come here, whatever. And then like, but if we're cool with that, then we're going to move forward. But I think you need to have that conversation. What about you?
Yeah. I'm so glad this is more open. I'm just glad that people are talking about it. I think maybe third date. I don't know. The third date seems like, okay, like where are you financially? Are you in major debt?
Wait, no, Tori. I don't want you to explain it. Let's go on a date right now. Tori, a third date. Dinner was delicious. I love the crab legs. Are you having a good time?
Delicious. Thank you so much. The crab cakes were delicious.
I can't believe we just we met online and here we are.
It's working so well. Just to get a little more personal, I'd love to split this bill, but speaking of money, like any like red flags I should know, and I'm not judging at all, I'll be honest with you, but like any major debt you're dealing with, and are you saving up for anything important? How's
Well,
that?
I'll be honest with you. I'm glad you asked. I have student loans, and I'm 60 grand in student loans, and I have one bankruptcy from 5 years ago, but I'm 2 years away from that. I have 3 kids, and one will be going to college. At least one will be going to college. So, Tori, is that a problem for you?
No, as long as you're on a payment plan that you feel that you've consolidated that debt, let's get it on, Al. I'm
But
just
we
kidding.
would be able to pay that off quicker if you participate. Would you help me pay?
I think once we're in a committed relationship and we're living
Really?
together, I think when we're living together, that might happen.
Do you think you should separate it completely? Because once you introduce money, once you're paying my student loans or helping me, no matter what you say, Tori, colleagues, back me up. I'm gonna look see if it changes things. It
Yeah.
changes.
Michael
Because
Dean
the
says,
first time we get into a fight, you tell me you're not bringing that up, boo.
yeah, that's true. And Michael Dean says, no way, man. Your debt is your debt. Fair. I totally see that. I
But
totally
if we're married, my debt is your debt.
right. And also it can change your credit. So you got to be really careful with that.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm very
Sounds
interested in that. And
like
Tori, I also want to get to this story because it just kind of it makes me happy, and we get to play our favorite song.
To be near you feels like heaven in the afternoon.
All right. Tor. We're talking about weddings. You used to work in bridal. I love your bridal stories. Hey, have you attended a lot of weddings? I'm assuming as a young woman
yeah.
you have.
Jewish weddings are the best too. A lot of partying, a lot of
It
dancing.
seems like I love that culturally you guys get it in.
Totally.
Hey, we only get one of these lives. I love it. Have you ever seen a weird or awkward toast?
Yes, I have, for my friend, and his brother did a very uncomfortable toast, and it
What
was
happened?
very uncomfortable.
Can you tell us, like, without?
He told, instead of doing a toast, he did a really long joke, and it went on and on and on about a frog and like sex, and at the end he was just like, that's it. And we were all like, oh my God. It was so
Yeah.
inappropriate, and it was so long, and it was weird. It was weird.
Yeah, I've seen a couple bad ones, but I will say what goes on, what I've observed from the good ones to the horrible is a couple things. And I used to see this with my old students. I would be like, "Hey, Tori, we're giving our presentation tomorrow on whatever science thing we're doing. Did you write your speech down?" "No, I'm going to go off the top of my head." Dumb people always want to go off the top of their head.
That's a
Professional
bad
writers, comics do
idea.
not go off the top of their head.
That's a bad
Write
idea.
it down. It's such a everybody. I'm going to go off the top of the dome. No, you're not. What's going to happen is you're going to double fist 6 Crown Royals. You're going to think you're funnier than you are. You're going to get the microphone. You're going to forget that not only is your friend there and your other goofball friends make as many jokes as you want to in front of them, but his aunt is over there. His 9-year-old niece is over there. And you're dropping C-bombs and F-bombs and sexual illusion and drug references. Time and place.
Time and place. Read the room. Read the room. Now, what did this guy do, Al?
Okay. Michael Dean was going to come on. We get to see the beautiful Michael Dean. He's going to tell us. Hello.
Okay. So the groomsman started out strong, saying that he was going to recall the story of how the two met. This is all
instead of writing it down.
Right. Like he's like, hey, we've got we'll find out how these guys met. I'll lay down the law here. And then he kind of dropped this bomb that the groom was very interested in a colleague from work, and she shot him down. And this is a quote, he ended up hooking up with the bride to console himself.
Oh, no.
Yeah, bride was second fiddle to this unnamed colleague from work. Yeah, cheers to that, guys.
Oh,
wow.
God.
Wow. And I mean, first of all, the bride's dad and brothers had to be restrained.
A consolation prize wedding speech.
You know how that doesn't come up when you write it down.
That's a good point.
Write it down when you're sober and have a friend that you actually respect read it. Have your sister read it. Have a woman read it and be like, that's funny. Take that out. And you're like, but what about? And she's like, take that out. And you're like, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, don't mention exes or other women. Do not do that. It is not their day. Do not do that.
Is it a bigger thing to be said, Tori, that like he's of a certain age and he doesn't know to not say that?
Well, that's some friends are dumb, but don't make that guy the speech guy. Pick the speech guy. Think about the speech guy. Don't let it be that guy.
Yeah, I've always said weddings are such a strange thing because they're like, this is the most important day of my life. Okay, check. We all agree. Yeah, me and Tori are getting married. It's a very important day. All right, Tori, how much did we put in on this wedding? How much did we spend?
$50,000.
We spent $50,000 on our imaginary wedding. All right, Tori, we actually got a cellist to come in and play for us. And everything's been covered to the nines. Last thing. How about we have an open bar and then give our drunkest, loudest friend a microphone and speakers? It's so counterintuitive because you've laid everything else out. Travel, when the makeup artist is getting here, what they charge, you paying them a per diem, everything is covered. And then you take the biggest wild card and you let it go. Whatever.
Enjoy. That's terrible.
So
terrible.
these things do happen. So help a friend and just tell them get a professional writer. All right, Tori, give us one of these fun facts, girl.
So if you guys are watching Coco, which is so nice, Colorado and Company, it's 10 to 11 on NBC every day or 9news.com. I now do a fun fact on the show. So
Did you steal a segment from here?
They kind of stole it.
Absolutely did.
No, they stole it from me.
Oh, now I do that there too. Don't be stealing shit.
They said, we want to do a fun fact with you. And I was like,
oh, no, they did not.
I swear to God.
They cornered you and said fun fact. Or
because we played, by the way, we play Jeopardy every day after the show. So they know
another stolen idea. Go ahead.
Okay. Did you know that the lighter was invented before the match?
Yes.
Okay. That sucks that you knew that.
But I just heard that on a podcast or something because I thought that was so weird.
So it was invented like people before the lighter used flint, a lot of flint work to start a fire. So the lighter became an early alternative and it was invented by Johann Wolfgang Doberreiner in, I believe, 1823. And in 1826, matches were patented and invented by John Walker. Isn't that crazy to think that the lighter was before the match? I thought that was crazy.
That would be like inventing the smartphone and then inventing the flip phone.
Yeah, right. It's just so backwards. But I mean, that's a good, fun fact.
What do you think the motive behind that was? Like, why would you make a match when something else is clearly better? I mean, why would you make why would you make a match if you already have a lighter?
Because they were maybe cheaper to make, because it's just
that's a good point. I'm sure they were very expensive when they came out. Yeah.
Yeah, and the match. I wonder, and maybe more portable, but I don't know.
I think a lighter is portable. I know. Did you go to the concert last night? I'm not dragging my lighter out to the arena.
It's too heavy. I think it is.
Tori, give us one more.
Okay. The time between Orville Wright and Wilbur Wright inventing air travel, airplanes, the flight.
Got it, bro.
Okay. The time between that and us landing on the moon was 66 years. That's it.
Wow. Oh, I meant to tell you, just because you brought up the moon landing.
Also known as the Wright brothers.
Yes. You gave their government names. Lolo.
Orville and Wilbur.
Yes. Last week we were I don't know, maybe I told you it's the baseball game, but I'll tell the colleagues. Sarah and I house sat for some friends, and the dude in the marriage, we were at dinner and he was like, do you guys remember the astronauts that were stuck in space for an extra 9.5 months? He was like, they were in our office today. And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, my company made the rocket that got them up, like the part that falls away and then shoots out of that. His company makes the part that shoots out of the atmosphere. And he just said it so casually.
He's a rocket scientist. Those guys are so cool. And
I
women.
would just like lead with that. I'd be like, hey, Tori, Mira, and Coco, rocket scientist out. You can just put that in your phone like that.
I would be known as rocket scientist forever and ever. That's like amazing. Did you, this is another fun fact. There's a woman that helped save Apollo 11 to get back those astronauts back. Remember Apollo 13, Apollo 13. They got Apollo 13 astronauts back, this woman. Then she went to the hospital that day and gave birth, and that's Jack Black's mother.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
How is she not more famous?
She's a rocket scientist that helped save Apollo 13 and then went and had Jack Black in the hospital. Isn't that insane?
Jimmy Carter, our old president, was a nuclear scientist, and now look at us.
Yeah.
And with that said, Tori, colleagues, we're going to be back here on Wednesday. Remember to check out Daytime Talk After Dark tomorrow. And Tori, they can catch you on Coco stealing more segments. What time?
From 10 to 11 on NBC. And if you guys aren't in Colorado, you can watch on 9news.com. And I know it's a lot of like pay to play things, but I try and make it fun. And I did some Indian dancing and I tried not to insult anyone. And I tried some good food and I'm trying to make it more fun. I'm adding a mental health segment and a book club. So stay with us.
All right. I love it, Tori. I'm so proud of you, girl. Colleagues, I'm proud of y'all too. We'll see you on Wednesday. We out.